I don't know. Satan's pretty cool.
Hail, Satan, fuckos. Welcome on in. How are we doing? Hello, hello. God damn. Oh, 9 months? Oh shit, no way. Thank you very much, Jester, for the resub. I appreciate it. Some things are muted right now, but don't worry about it. It's good to have y'all in. Hello. First things first. Was that intro stuttery at all? Because it wasn't from my perspective. And we were dealing with a little bit of that on Friday. That kind of threw last stream's start into chaos. But no stuttery, just buttery smooth. That's what we love to see. Okay, I changed like one minor thing, but like I also think that like it might have been a one-off blip in the first place. Either way, we don't have to worry about it anymore, and I love to see that. Yeah, you've been here for almost a year, Jester. That's rad. I'm happy to see it. Thank you so much, for real. How are we doing? Welcome. What are the vibes this eve, this creepy Sunday? Big shout out to Emot. I'm gonna give him an actual shout out right now. Big shout out to Emot for having me on last night for 420, where we had a nice little time riffing on some drug PSAs and the original Reefer Madness movie. And more importantly, I was prompted to recount the plot of the Book of Henry again. So he's now got the infection and is going to be passing that along to people. We ended the session less than a minute before you end. Oh fuck yeah! My D&D campaign has also been like playing more lately, and we're only able to get together for like, you know, maybe 2 hours max each time, which sucks. But at the same time, like, I don't have to worry about having as much prepared for a given session, because I usually prepare in the macro, and then in the days leading up to the session itself, I like get things together in the micro. But like most of the time, my prep work is very big picture stuff, or like arcs that we're going to be working on in the future. But like the fact that it's playing more often has been really a boon to me. It's been lovely. It's been nice. Yeah, no, 2 hour sessions. Listen, 2 hour sessions every other week, maybe even every week, is like kind of nutty. I'm going to be a bad streamer for a second and take a second from my stream. Just double checking with y'all that we're still on for tomorrow. Messaging my fucking D&D Discord midstream. I'm so fucking unprofessional. But they matter to me too. SoundCloud generations forever. Anyways. Partner asked what the Book of Henry was, and I was like, I'm just gonna play the first VOD. Yes, do it, infect them. Please, I highly recommend, you know, getting some bugs together, and just you need to watch the Book of Henry with other people, because otherwise, if you experience it alone like I did, you do feel like you're going insane. You need to share it with somebody so that they know that this movie exists, right? Back with your little cup of tea, very cozy. We love that. D&D's good. D&D's fun. Thank you very much for the streak, both Yannick and CJ. Appreciate it. A redeem where I recap Book of Henry. God, no. I'm going to get it down to a science then, right? Book of Henry, I don't know. Listen, that was on Emot's stream. He can do with it what he wishes, right? We already have. Listen, it's already the finale of my Killer 7 VODs. So like anybody who wants to re-experience the finale of me playing Killer 7 has to get through or skip over me ranting about the Book of Henry for half an hour. And I chaptered it out for the video. I usually don't chapter out my VODs, because usually the intro's not all that long in the first place. It's pretty obvious when you switch over. The first, maybe. I'd have to go back. I don't have that on my computer anymore, so I'd have to like rip it off YouTube and then re-upload it, which is a little oh God. Anyways, we've got a nice little bit of Ace Attorney to play tonight. I don't know how long I want to go. I was on Emot's stream last night, so you know, I am going to have to rest the throat at some point for this goat. But we left off right before we got into trial mode, if I remember correctly. Which means we're getting right into the thick of it. That good. And like, we're learning a lot. I think we're on trial day 2, if I remember correctly. Or like, we don't have that much investigation left, but we are on day 2 of the whole thing. Again, some of this case is already blurring together for me because there's a lot to take in, and we're already now dealing with the fact that there's a twin murder. There's an identical murder happening at the same time. I'm not lying in intention, Mimey, okay? I don't know. I never know what I'm capable of, and at the end of the day, I am subject to the whims of the game and its pacing, right? I can pull the plug at any point, but I like finding a good place to leave off and a good place to pick up at the next time. That's usually my goal. I'm a director at heart. I'm a writer by nature. I like nice, clean arcs. I like starting and ending things at a good, solid landing point, okay? These trials are pretty fucking lengthy, so who knows? But like, maybe it's gonna be a long trial, but like, it throws us right into some other nonsense that I'm completely unprepared for. I don't know. This specific, wait, we don't know if this specific trial is long, or if it's like this specific. I know this case is long. I know this case is long for sure. I haven't heard anything about this specific trial, but maybe. If that's the case, then we might as well get into it now, as much as I do enjoy this song. Let me get the music paused. I'm not going to bother recapping everything because I don't fully have all the memory organized in my head conveniently for easy consumption purposes, okay? We're going to remember things as they're reintroduced. Let me readjust myself and take a little stretchy. I'm going to take a preemptive sippy, even though somebody's going to inevitably redeem a hydrate like as I start voicing things, and I've guaranteed it by saying that, if I'm being honest. So yeah.
Oh, drink water, drink water, drink water.
Or we get it out of the way now. Thank you, Money. Big sippy. Whew. All right. Oh shit. 10 scale rating. We'll get that out of the way. Yeah. Bear claws. Here's the thing. The first time I ever had a bear claw, or something called a bear claw, it was a stuffed potato skin with like cheese and bacon and shit in it at like a TGI Fridays sort of restaurant. I think I was on vacation as a child, and our family ordered them as an appetizer, but they were called bear claws. And if I remember correctly, bear claws are actually pastries, right? I do not even so much as remember what the fucking pastry looks like. And I know I've had an actual bear claw before, right? So it clearly didn't leave much of an impression on me.
We'll do it live.
Could have been a bad bear claw,
Okay,
but that's all I have to judge on. I'm not bringing out the research on this one. Didn't remember it. Shooting from the hip. Fuck it. I'll be honest, it's making me think of Weird Al's Albuquerque. That is a very specific. Okay, and apple fritters. Man. Again, just shooting from the hip. They're like a decent pastry. Never something I'm going to go out of my way for.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Okay, throw me some numbers.
It's like, if it's there, sure.
You're the man now, dog.
It's aight. It's aight. Apple pastries are never my jam. Yeah, honestly. I like a good apple, but I've never loved a good apple. apples are a decent fruit, but like they're never going to be a high tier. A bunch happened, but I don't remember where we left off. Same, by which I mean, like, I think the last thing, we are clearly in the courtroom. We're about to go into trial. We learn that there is a second murder that happened in the evidence room. We've got some blood stains. We sprayed some stuff with Emma's science spray. Oh, cherry pie person? Honestly, not a big cherry pie either. Never had an apple dumpling. Yeah, we found bloody handprints. We found a few bloody handprints. Same guy died twice, theoretically. R.I.P. John Goodman. That's the other thing I decided last night. I forget what celebrity we were talking about on Emot stream. But I just said R.I.P. about, oh, it was Tim Curry. And I was like, oh, I love Tim Curry. Mad respect to Tim Curry. R.I.P. Tim Curry. I'm pretty sure he's still alive, but I'm just going to say that preemptively because he deserves to rest. Everybody deserves a break and to rest in peace from time to time too. I'm just going to start saying RIP anytime I shout out a celebrity, just as preemptive respect for them. And I'm not going to care whether they're actually, amongst the living or not. We're just going to say it and do it. I know Tim Curry's still alive. RIP. Rest in firm. Yes. Exactly. No, that's called soaking, and that's the one way to get to heaven, okay? You don't end up down here with that. R.I.P. John Goodman, you're the best part, Roseanne. Oh, God. Anyways, let's go. February 24th, 9:41 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2. So, what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, who is Lana again? Wait, who was Lana again? I can't see her wacky character design. So she's not Angel's the southern lady. Oh yeah, it's, the big sister. Yeah, Lana Skye. That was it. And Scathe, it's canon for Mormons, but again, you gotta qualify for every heaven simultaneously, so soaking's still gonna break kosher for a lot of people. Yeah, Lana's not the person on screen. That's Emma. Oh yeah, I kind of did like almost Squidward voice for Lana. The victim was murdered in 2 places at the same time, and a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Yay, she's here. Lana! You see, it's only been a week, but like the nerf that is taking a break from a game between playing it and streaming it. I just forget basic character names and whatnot. Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So, how'd it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Skye. So what's she going to tell them? As a plea? We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. It belonged to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Skye? Do what you have to, Mr. Wright. I suspect anyone who's wearing a glove or bandage on their hand, well, that means Meekins too. Let's not forget Meekins is also wanted for murder. Because he looks very capable of it, right? February 24th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. All right. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow. This is one messed up trial. I'm glad we're all acknowledging it from the very beginning, right? One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things. Yeah, he's also just setting the pace for the entire trial, right? Even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait. Believing in yourself is important. So is believing that everything's science. Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Oh boy. Oh, don't worry about it, Andy. I got that. That's just automod. Being automod. Oh shit, I missed dialogue though. Damn it. That's on me. I thought that would cover for me, but it kept on going. Oh, automod. Yeah, that's how it do. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I am Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir. He's not wrong. He is a cop. So you're telling us you're a professional killer. Okay. Judge is in on it. Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You gotta believe me, sir. Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is... Sir, I'm part of what you'd call the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Help me, sir. Oh god, the sirs are contagious. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir. As you wish. After all, I am part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Oh boy. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you? Do unto others before they do unto you! That's the Meekins family motto, sir! Oh dear god, yeah! No, he went full on stop resisting! Hello, Jay. Welcome, welcome. I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir! He knocked me upside the head, sir! Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. I'd like to bring up my first piece of evidence, this acorn. What I need here is more info to work with. Okay. First things first, we press him on everything. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir! I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir! Oh, he onboards? Yikes, now there's a scary thought. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. Oh, it's getting into play. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir! The lovely police mascot created by the chief of detectives, sir! Somebody put on future. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process, and yet it was. That was my sole mission for the day, sir! Okay, get this reintegrated into the testimony. I see. Sounds like a very, important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around. I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? Okay, Blue Badger isn't in the testimony yet. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir! I have one right here around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? Yep, we got this last time. There it is! I found it! This is the one right here! Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir! It's 4989596! That's my number, sir! I see. Huh? But the number 4989596 is shown as being used twice. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during that second time when... Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security screen. Okay, good. We still got our mystery, right? We have the sevens. We have all the sevens. Which I'm guessing is like some sort of master key. Oh, but they entered at 420, so like... Yeah, I can see Marshall token up in there. Absolutely. Blaze it, bruh. Blaze it. Motherfucking blaze it. Okay. If someone did a switcheroo, then Meekins literally couldn't tell the difference between his fellow officers. Probably. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir, a knife! Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you? What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you just kept her cool, your hand wouldn't be... When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought for my life. Then I did it. Yeah, he used Octopus style. It's one of the four venoms. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. Okay, now you're getting in. Now you're getting on my good side. He actually used octopus technique. No way. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife? I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. See. He must have been desperate. Yeah, no, that's police training. Yeah, the blind fire. For deadly minute. Of course, Jay knows what I'm talking about. I assume you two are an aficionado of the Wu-Tang collection. I should go into another Wu-Tang collection era. It's been a little while. Let's go see Fu. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood. And then the next thing I knew, yes, he punched me right in my face, sir. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. I feel like everything he just said should have been worked into the testimony.
If what you say is true, the Shaolin and the Wu-Tang could be dangerous.
It's also just a really good album. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. Judge is not a fan of Meekins. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins. With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Grant delivered it to me just this morning, sir. The chief? Oh, Chief Gant, yeah. Yeah, Damon Gant with the autistic stare. Delivered it? What is that? A videotape? Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains
footage from the security camera in the evidence room.
What? Well, I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had already been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I must do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. The bootlicker to police pipeline. It just tastes strong. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Yeah, they're trying to set up Edgeworth. I forgot that was the other thing. We learned that the police department are trying to make Edgeworth look like a bad prosecutor. Well then, let's have a look. Show us a video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. Well, you introduced yourself as it. That was what you said your occupation was. A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Okay. Well, this is 5:14. All right. Oh, thanks. Yeah, real convenient with the fucking flags. Yeah. Blue Badger doing his thing. Obstructing justice yet again. Okay, let's see that octopus technique. No, I wanted to see the octopus technique. What is this camera setup? It's like a scanning. It's a constantly scanning camera. Yeah, that don't prove shit, dude. That don't prove shit. That looks like Meekins got beat to a pulp, and then whoever did it just walked the fuck away. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. Yeah, what the fuck is that placement? How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? Oh no! Oh no! The judge saw the blue badger and he said, I hope this doesn't awaken anything in me. Oh no, the judge is literally just the dean from Community. Wait. I should have been doing a completely different performance for him the entire time. They're both bald. What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that's the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's not just, it's our collective persona. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Flower soda. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Yeah. Yes, well, anyway. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter, someone. The forced soda! That's so much better than flower soda! Fuck. In the evidence room, and some sort of activity did take place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. Okay. I'm liking this already. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir.
So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker, equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. These VHS for security cameras, but fingerprint scanners for lockers. Yeah, I mean, it's better to get it on digital video forever. His face can't be clearly seen in the video. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? The face of the man who attacked you with a knife? So, sir, if you must label people as being seen, or having seen or not seen the man's face, but I believe I would have to be classified as the latter. The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not? More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see? Or attempting to beat them with a rod. Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer.
So I'm sure it was him. I'll bet my badge on it.
Please, let's take you up on that. We're getting you off this force, buddy. But there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen it. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or... Meekins. Ah! Having been shown a questionable video at best, you're not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. Claim the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him. I gotta say, I love the dynamic in this case because, like, yes, we are going against Edgeworth, but the entire time he's very clearly on our side, and he's being open. He's not being coy about it. He's openly like, he thinks this is fishy and bullshit, and he's not having it. He's playing the hand he's dealt, and I fucking love the way it's, man. Yeah, no, this is great. I can see why people like keep returning to these games and whatnot. Yeah, Hail Saint Millie, welcome, welcome. Yeah, he just wants to get to the truth, and obviously, like, it's a big setup against him, right? Like, there's some personal motivation here, but like, it is cool that you really do see the character development, like actual There was not a reset to day one Phoenix versus Edgy after that last case, and I fucking appreciate that because it would have been so easy to do the like dumbass anime confession trope where like gotta have a season 2 somehow, so oops, she just didn't hear him and was just kind of nodding and when he confessed, but like she doesn't know what he's talking about at all. You know, there's no big reset. Actual continuity. It's really I appreciate the fuck out of it. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir! I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past! They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir! Why did you try so many methods? I wonder what kind of methods he's tried. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to his registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to.
Exactly my point, sir, and this too!
The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir! How do you know that? Hello, Blahaj. Welcome, welcome. How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir! From people in the know, sir! People in the know? The workers in the department cafeteria, sir! They keep me informed! They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. So it must...
So it must be him! No one else could have unlocked it!
Yeah, the underpaid staff are not your therapists, and they are not your vent space. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face. Sir, if I may say something, sir. Please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My
unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir.
Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Is there a problem with security video? Well, there has to be, right? Alright, first things first, let's watch the video. Let's go through everything we have right off the bat. Then we're gonna watch the video. We got our attorney's badge. Probably not relevant. We have Bruce Goodman's ID. which was found at the scene of the other crime. But we're somehow now litigating both. We have the King of Prosecutors trophy, probably irrelevant. This was the murder weapon. We have the parking sub, probably irrelevant. Blue Badger, we are very familiar with. It is a little broken. Obviously, Meekins' job was to keep it safe, and he didn't. So I do think that's something we have to confront him with, but I don't know if now is the time, right? Can they check if that's Meekins' blood? Possibly. Death due to loss of blood. 1 knife wound. Died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. A single stab wound was found. 4.5-inch knife. We have the note, which connected us to this entire secondary case. There's the whole muffler nonsense. Oh, that's just, yeah. Parking lot, probably irrelevant. This is also mainly just reminding me of what evidence we have. Crime photo are irrelevant. Okay, so shoes are a whole thing. Oh yeah, there was also the switchblade, whose tip is broken off. That was an entire thing. Luminol testing fluid. I don't think we'd be using that. I don't know if it's going to be tough trying to find. There's going to be points where we have to like look at the floor plans, right? And, you know, point out where the blood is, but, I guess we'd be presenting the floor plans in that case. Anyways. We have the ID cards. This does check out. That's probably irrelevant. Oh, the screwdriver was the thing that was brought. That was one of Edgeworth's old cases. It's the SL9 case that we're worried about. The lost item report, we don't know what he lost and was looking for, but that was that day. He never finished filling it out. Another, yeah, extremely thin rubber glove was another evidence from the SL9 incident, which we still don't know much about. I don't know why it just lets us look at this like that, but okay. Yeah, we found a bloody handprint. That might be the thing we gotta bring up. Hail Satan, Ventira. Welcome, welcome. Oh yeah, this was another thing. This was from the SL9 incident. We pieced it back together, but we didn't really get that much from it, other than that there's blood. Hey, look, they're hard to make out, but there's some darker stains here. Looks like blood. Do you think Detective Goodman's blood somehow got on this when he was stabbed? Not likely. This blood looks like it's been here for months, maybe longer. This jar was evidence in the SL9 incident. That might be when the blood got on it. Okay, yeah, let's look at that. Yeah, the locker's already lit up. The locker's already lit up. It could have just been open ajar. Yeah, I see the glove falling out. So the locker was already unlocked. Yeah. No, yeah, the locker page mentioned something about a knife, I know. Okay, yeah. Indicator lamp lights up when it's open. Yep, there we go. There's a problem. There's a huge problem. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us in this alleged contradiction in the video. He would want me to point it out. Yeah, that's how he gets off. It's just a game to them at this point, right? Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I like that. Yeah, I like the fact that Edgeworth felt the need to throw that out there, as if we were just gonna as if we were. Phoenix was just gonna say, yeah, there's a contradiction here, and everybody would just say, oh, okay, yep, throw it out. Like, no elaboration needed. I have to point out a problem in the video. It was the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where's the contradiction that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman? Take that! Easy. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins. Sir! Do you mean me, sir? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. Guess it seems about Gumshoe every single day. They're really just gonna take all that time. Yep. Yeah, I'm really happy the music is just still going. I hope there's a version with lyrics out there. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. I love watching the Blue Badger shake in place in reverse. Here! Notice the light? What's this? It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Ah! Damn right it's lit. Order! Order! What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. Locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When the door is shut, a sensor is triggered. Did he just make a chicken noise? I did, goddammit! And the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well. Just goes to show novices should keep their mouth shut. Yeah, fuck you for getting invested. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes. Why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. If I had to hazard a guess, it's the glove. The glove was caught in the wedge. Because if the glove fell out as it was open, then it had to be caught in the seam, and it just fell, you know, it wasn't creating a perfect seal, right? What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, yeah. make your rent. Maybe something like jam the system's sensor? Something jam the sensor? Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Oh, Emma, stop playing like you know what's up. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked, Mr. Wright. Please point out, yeah, sure. Yep, here we go again. Gets on the Blue Badger Kitty ride. It's like a very slow bumper car. There we go. Please watch closely. This is a continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Oh no, give us the tunes, give us the tunes. Give us the jams. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my car door. We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? Like an extremely thin rubber glove. If he's rolling, then what's the point of a car? Oh, when he said he's rolling, he meant ecstasy. Meekins candy flips on weekends. He heads the Electric Daisy Carnival and just twerks to Tiesto. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. Plurm Meekins, yeah! Plurm, dude. You heading to Mad Decent, bro? Yeah! I always try and catch Diplo when he comes through. You know, Mazer Laser puts an all right show, but I'm really mainly here for the man himself. Two out of 3 times I get stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. But the objects would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. I mean, what could it possibly be? It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator. I'm headcanoning that the judge doesn't know what that means. But at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I've finally got this figured out. Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door? I learned this shit from Pokemon. Rubber blocks electricity. It's how Ash handled his Pikachu. Oh shit, a knife. You're right. No. I also learned from the Wonderful 101 that blades can catch lightning and wield it as their own. No, it's a rubber glove. I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? Sir! It would appear so, sir! Order! So are we to believe, then, that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The offense merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in this video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir! Me, sir! I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well. Begin your testimony. Oh, God. When will Meekins get off the stand? Give my throat my neighbor's arrest. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. ID card record. I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 414 is that of the victim. Yeah, the stolen card that we found just lying anywhere. Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Yeah. Can you imagine that there's a police that a criminal case involving the police got violent? I thought those guns were just for warning shots. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination. Not a lot to cross-examine. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir! So, unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir! Solid as stone, sir! If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the way for weaker side, sir! Couldn't he just use his right hand for that? Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second. Oh, just imagine if this was Minnesota, or Los Angeles, or NYC, or anywhere! To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. Oh, whoops. Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards? Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it here so I won't ever forget it. But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time, it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID... Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony. Man. Also, I'll say that like half of the time when Meekins speaks, the game moves on to the next character's dialogue on its own. I am not cutting him off. The game is cutting him off. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. Let it be noted that this is the record of the witness. This is the record the witness referred to. Let me see. Yes, that would be it. What's the matter? According to this. Also, hello, Mars. Welcome. Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor. I got that prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, he could hide the evidence. Mommy, is that man in blue a murderer? Shh, don't stare at him. You got the wrong color, kid. Phoenix just trying to keep his own ass covered. It would seem the inquiry committee would like to will want to speak to you again today. Oh my god, I completely got. It will seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. It must be so difficult for him. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir! He didn't show me any ID card, sir! Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked! Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. It's right. What do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we got. Okay. Evidence. Not the time to bring you out, no. Alright, what is his ID is 482, yeah, 5842. Yeah. That's still his ID. Yeah, we could probably Occam's razor it. Oh yeah, I haven't saved all trial, you're right. Because the competent has sieged into the program in the game, forcing it to skip ahead the dialogue. No, be nice. Let him get a word in. I mean, my initial assumption is like, hey, we found this at the scene of the other crime, so like, how the fuck did it get there? But Gathering evidence from one must be used their ID card. When an ID card used, there's a record of it. We got that. At time of the crime, detective has used the card. At the time of the crime. You know it's being accused of happening at... Yeah, 514. This happens at 514. Yeah, I know, that card is found at a secondary location, and like... So, yeah, I'm wondering if I do just be like, this, you mean this card? I mean, there's nothing stopping him from having used the card. Like, obviously the body shows up somewhere else no matter what, right? So, theoretically, the card would move with it too, but... Okay, apparently that's what they wanted. Sure. I figured this would have been too obvious in some ways, but all right. Cool. I thought we had already established that we'd found the card, but all right. Sure. Yeah, no, it really was Occam's razor. It really was that simple. God damn, I overcomplicated the hell out of it. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. You know, I think what confused me is I think we'd established that we found this at the other... I think we brought up during the day one trial that we'd found this at the other scene. I think we established that at some point, but maybe I'm misremembering. Either way, it's going to get very confusing between the two crime scenes, but yeah, game's just being nice. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. Lost item report. It's only half completed, but it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. It was the ID card. Yep. That would track. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order! Order! So now, what does this all mean? It could only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order! 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 Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. I nutted. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Pretty much the same thing. That's Edgeworth's way of saying it. Bravo? Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, you must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is... Well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well. It seems you finally realize exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murder being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness. Observe the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Ah! Voiced by Alan Rickman. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. Activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? Where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else Lana... Honestly, no, but this trial shouldn't have... By that same token, Your Honor, this trial should have nothing to do with that other trial. This shouldn't be affecting the other one. First of all, we didn't wrap up that one, really, so why are we on this one? Who decided to make these two trials a package deal? What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? We gotta object. One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing, and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Yep. Okay, Phoenix is on the same thing I am. Yeah, turns out Bruce Goodman just learned how to crouch. Yeah, that don't show shit. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses would be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution consider the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. Huh. This just might be my chance. Hello, Ava. Welcome on in. Meowdy. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Miss Wright, do you mean? Your Honor. The defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh? Whom do you have in mind? Someone who we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. Hello, Oz. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well, then. Miss Wright, this person who you would have testify. What is his or her name? Obviously, Gumshoe. I want to... Yeah, we're gonna... Get Bruce Goodman in there now. Oh, say fair. Oh, nice. Thank you for letting me know, Oz. Thank you for the update. Appreciate it. Congrats. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. Oh shit, no, that wasn't... That last bit was not internal monologue, that's on me. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. Okay. No more Meekins' voice tonight. Oh, that is a relief for my throat and probably for my neighbors, honestly. February 24th, 11:32 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2. You say so many tablecloths? Excellent. Did you season them with anything? There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Hail Satan, Rummy. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? Congrats on 2 years, by the way. Congrats on your 2-year anniversary. Good to see you around. Everybody congratulate Rummy on her 2 years on Twitch. And generally check out her shit if you don't follow her already, because she's an incredibly talented artist and just generally a good folk. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well today. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Oh. I'm going to have the in-game music! Oh, fuck. Super Mario RPG. Sonic the Hedgehog, Donkey Kong 3, Adventures of Lolo 1 and 2, King's Night, Dig Dug, Chew Man Fu. I opened the volume mixer options. Harvest Moon. Fuck you. League Puzzle Pokemon. Toe Jam and Earl in Panic on Funkotron. By me, I hate that emote. Castlevania, Fatal Fury, Ninja Judge, and Maru Kunek. Razor Blazing Lasers, Bases Loaded, Mega Turrican, Cybernator, Rolling Thunder. I'm scared of that emote. Bubble, Bubble, Double, Dribble, Double, Dragon, F-Zero. F-Zero X and Donkey Kong Jr. Math. Ninja Gaiden 1. Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden 3. Who's USA? Fuck. Worst game he could have done that for. I had to fucking open up the start menu. Come on. That one's good. That one's pretty good. I can fuck with that one. By me, that's a good emote. Anyways, there's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana. You're the one who knows everything. Emma. You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Gumshoe with the social timing! Dick Wright, if it makes me feel better, if Mommy didn't do it, you would have. Mommy didn't, though. Who is she protecting? I can't wait to find out. But again, ACAB. Everyone has autism, yep. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Ah! Well, you actually... Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? Got a lot of nerve, pal. Making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Oh, congrats on the streak. Thanks to Streak Oz. Jacob, I will stretch now. Y'all could at least let me finish a cutscene. Oh. Okay, good stretch. And we'll take a sip. All right. Back into it. Sorry, detective. It's all good. It's all good. Thank you anyway. You better be, pal. Hey! I see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh. You mean this, right? I really like that, dude. The game just kind of forced me through all of those real fast. That's pretty cute. My apologies, detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name while making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Oh, she is helping. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe you. The chief prosecutor were a witness in that case. This guy was a witness? The Joe Dark killings. Take it from me. You don't want anything to do with serial murders. I don't think anybody wants anything to do. No. I know so many true crime aficionados and monster fuckers that, yeah, no. Ghostface exists. There are a lot of people out there who want a lot to do with serial murders. What am I saying? Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in here? I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that? That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. Also, hello, Toxo. Welcome, welcome. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The Joe Dark. No, Lana! That's over with! No! Emma, wait! She ran away. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Mess of luck. I better take a good look at this file. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's get reading. Let's do some light reading. No, we're not into it now. We got a ways to go. February 24th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Okay, will I have time to read, though? Also, hello, Stonewall. Welcome, welcome. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man. Oh, same as you. Wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know. You're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You're in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. He's not from upstate New York. He's actually from West LA, Andy. Thank you very much. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. Wait, before we do anything, I can't go into my... I want to read the court... Do I get to... Okay. I don't know if we're gonna have a good time to read this later, so let's do this now. Yeah, New York City! Okay, incident number SL9, closed. Perpetrator Joe Dark, crime serial murder, sentenced death. Victims, Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb? They got Jeb! Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall, First of all, there should be an exclamation mark after Jeb. Head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, witnesses Lana Skye and Emma Skye. Investigation Task Force, executive investigators Damon Gant and Lana Skye. She was investigator and a witness. Ooh, conflict of interest. Please clap. Head investigator Bruce Goodman, investigators Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. Yeah, okay. Just gotta let us know what that's about. You truly are the most devious bastard in New York City. Fuck, I can't wait for the last season. Our job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon at the time it went down. He just straight up admits he was drinking. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? He's talking about the lasso in front of his door. The snare trap. I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He knows nothing about his job! He's not being very helpful. Have you seen Garth Marenghi's Dark Place? I know writers who use subtext, and they're all cowards. Yeah, I'm very familiar with Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. My first cover will be One Track Lover, down a 2-way lane. He's not that good with machines, or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright. He's all yours. I don't think there's a pun to Joe Nark's name. I don't think so either, necessarily. Been trying not to watch it like a binge a full series. Yeah, Dank Rye. At the very least, you should watch the movie, What We Do in the Shadows, because it's unrelated and, like, it's a good appetizer for the show, which is fantastic. And yes, everybody should watch Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. Last I checked, it's all on YouTube, and so is, the like making of and a bunch of other weird shit, or not like the fake making of. Like there's a bunch of secondary material with like interviews with the with the cast. It's real good. Our job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who entered the recordings. You entered them? Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When time would come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes ought to be erased every 6 hours. That's... Buddy, my PC has more storage space than that. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. It said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. No desperados I know join the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime? Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? He's got police tenure. Besides, the room's protected by two security systems anyways. Every tape is saved as a 32K 600 FPS video in incredibly bad quality. Yeah. Yeah, like how often would they have to actually erase tapes, if ever? God, if it doesn't fit, you must have wrong trial. Yeah. Listen, they got OJ no matter what, eventually. You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism. Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works. That's quite, incredible. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It is well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem like this is relevant to this crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down. Sir, you can see how a bike works. Yeah, but you need to pay attention, you know, note how one thing connects to another, right? What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Hanging out at the spaghetti saloon. Not even Angel's steak lunches can beat that parlor's Mongole sepia pasta. Spaghetti in this Western? You know, it was totally probably a ramen bar that he was at in the original translation, but that works real well. Yeah, spaghetti cowboy. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant, but I hope this at least has taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, did you not want a raise this year? Oh yeah, oh he's got some good tenure. He's got a good hookup in the department, clearly. I'm just an innocent traveling man. So if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall? That's right, partner. Or as you call it, evidence. No, that's in Danganronpa where it's ammo. If you plan to pin me to this crime, you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I best keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I'd better up the ante. Okay, fair enough. How do we up the ante? Two security systems, eh? We have the security camera, we have the lockers. Wait a second. I mean, the locker was a gold mine of evidence. I need to know about the fingerprint locking mechanism. I ain't good with machines. I can't even tell you how bike works. Huh. I feel like it's the security system thing. Shit, I was trying to get him on the cam. Yeah, no, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, did I save? I forget if I remembered to save. I totally saved, but yeah. I had to check the. It's so easy to forget that you saved. That's just true to any game I ever play. They said I was supposed to make the rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. 3 times a day. If anybody was entering 3 times that day, then you would be on there. Fucking. Nope. Really? You don't see how it... Okay. Damn. I have to up the ante before bringing out the fingerprints, right? Oh, one of those is Marshall's locker, right? Would that be it? If that's not your style, then... Wait. Okay, so I'm gonna prevent the floor plans as a way of saying, like, hey, you have a locker there too, don't you? Nope. Yeah, I'm wondering if I am supposed to hit him with the evidence. Like, Phoenix says I need to up the ante. I have a trump card, so I need to keep my cool. Which implies to me that we're not... The fact that he said we're supposed to keep our cool, we have a trump card, let's up the ante, implies that we're trying to build up to it. But, wait, okay, yeah, so... I have a trump card I perceive, so I best keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I better up the ante, right? I want to try it anyway to see if that does anything. So I'm an innocent traveling man. You think you're innocent? We found your blood-stained handprint. Fucking Christ! Okay, that's bad signposting from the game. But okay, fair enough, fair enough. Well, so be it. I'm glad I saved and loaded when I did, so I wouldn't like lose any trial HP for that. All right, Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this. After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. Yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or, to be exact, a handprint. Isn't real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints will be in there. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall, it seems to me he's going to say that he poked his... We already saw that somebody poked their hands on the cactus, so he's going to use that as an excuse. I already know it. There ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall. About the blood-stained fingerprints. Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime. Get his ass, get his ass, get his ass. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The blood stain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Oh, didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it. Weak. The witness's explanation appears valid. Although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. We should put fidget spinners and heels that are fine. Fidget spinner spurs would actually go super hard. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. Well, let's press him on everything. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. That's because you, how did you put it? Pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. Marshall's own locker, okay. Good to know. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. So then, what about the bloody handprint? It wasn't mine. It's no mystery. Please explain. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened the murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. Just completely lined up every finger, huh? The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. Wanna know why? The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Unrelated? They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One got to do with breakfast while the other's a type of murder. He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. He nailed it. He nailed it. My God. He should have been a lawyer this entire time. He's using that word foo. I don't see what hominins have to do with this. No, hit us with that Chewbacca defense. Hit us with that Chewbacca defense. If you didn't know the murder was... Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a blood stain at the scene, though. Thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer, wearing gloves, happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? This seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. The security tape. So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, right, Mr. Wright? Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall. Okay, we got a little bit more testimony because we went through everything. Too bad it wasn't me in that video, right, partner? What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to that crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. Well, that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. You don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present. Please do so now. Which one of these lockers on the left was his? Wait a second. If I'm guessing right, then we get this final pan back. No? Later, it's after this. Yeah, he would have waited till Meekins rounded the corner anyway. Yeah. Because it's going to pan back now. And the very far locker is going to have... Oh, no. I remember seeing it one of the times. Or maybe when we most recently saw the room. Yeah! Oh! Easy. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright. You might wind up being the one making the mistake. Getting real sloppy, Marshall. Yeah, whoop, there it is, motherfucker. Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall. This is going to take a second. It's going to take a moment. Welcome back, Andy. What you eating tonight? Yeah, I know. Edgeworth should know better than to accuse us of you know, going into this half-cocked. We're already always whole-cocked for him. Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll not soon forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? How about 1,000? Because that's what a picture is worth. That's a Phoenix line right there. Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. Chicken roast Brussels sprouts? Ooh, that sounds good. That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. He just crawled under the fucking camera. He crawled under the camera like a little worm. Right? The speed in which all... Yeah, no, it was real quick. Also, hello, Noisy. Oh, the white cloth. It's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then, it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. A real shit job at it too. Like this has to be in our trap, right? Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was opened? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Oh my god, Oh, everybody knows. Please don't make me say it. Don't make me say it. They all know. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This is really nice because it does show that the rest of the courtroom are capable of like retaining information. I know that we just spent like an entire segment of the trial talking about this, but this is good character development. This is really fucking funny. Yeah, right? No, they never do shit. This is good. This is real good. This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. The fucking does he know meme. He wasn't there during that part of the trial. He was probably taking a cat nap. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker, now prove it. I mean buddy. A fingerprint sensor? We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. Even some people on the force who don't know about the fingerprint locks, which I have to say, I find hard to believe. I find hard to believe that they're, you don't need to like rub your thumb over the fingerprint at like 4 different angles every time. I've used one of those older iPhones that had the fingerprint sensor, and that was not nailing it 100% of the time, right? I had to do some it's like a USB port. You never get in right the first time. Mr. Texas here, I can believe it. Especially considering his drunk ass and the way he was handling these things. I doubt he was nailing it first time every time. You need to be key in the system in order for it to work in the first place. Yeah, like he didn't notice when they took his fingerprint. He was drunk the entire time. Let's be real here. Just the locker's caught on something for sure. Just try it again. It'll work. I gave it 2 taps up top and then 1 at the bottom of the handle, and then I try slowly to open it up, and that always works. There's a trick to it, and that's why I can open my locker. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. Yeah, I guess he wasn't joking. That was not a waste of a tangent. So, Sheriff, I just punch it like I'm the phones. What do you have to say in 8 words or less? Oh, he's eating leather like a true starving cowboy. I only got 1 word for you, partner. No! Order! Witness, explain yourself. If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you, this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Olay, please answer the question. It's the most fun the judge has ever had, and he's just making that face. Oh, it could be jerky, Klotsky. That is a true cowpoke move. Welcome on in. What is he now, a bullfighter? That's all right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. We can. Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then, where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right. The only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? So if this is Meekins, then that's Marshall, right? Clearly. Officer Marshall was standing right here. There. But that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Yes, Judge. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. We really gotta handhold the judge sometimes. I believe the victim in this video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond?
He suddenly pulled a knife on me!
Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? That is very tough jerky if he's so... I mean, I've had tough jerky before. It is a process. You got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beer, but you don't see me complaining. This is the second time you complained about it, dude. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt? Oh no, do I? Circumcisional evidence? I don't know if I do have any evidence. Also, yeah, the judge does have a really good beard, admittedly, like a really solid beard. I'm also shocked that we haven't brought up the fact that the Blue Badger is broken this entire time. But it, definitely co-conspirator. Yep, there's blood on the coat. Well, I'm gonna save either way. Just in case I fuck this up and need to come back here. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as a victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. Yeah, we're in the same boat. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. You talking to me or him? I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. You want me to bust out the badge? Oh, I'm gonna screw it in. I'm gonna screw in Miles's lawyer badge and transform into him. It's like a Common Rider form change. When you run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise, but rather I should look for evidence that came out because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Can we send somebody to the station to get it? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. Go to the station, get the cloth! I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Back to the video again. Very well. Let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth, which was... It's gonna be the jacket. I'm thinking it's the jacket because, like, that got stained with blood, right? Please show us why the witness had to open the locker. Not gonna be anything now. So it's not the glove. Yeah, you don't know. You never know when it's gonna be the last time you see the blue badger, so. In the photo of him with him in the truck, is there blood around the neck? I don't think we have a photo of him in the truck. Yeah, no, the photo of him in the truck is there is. Oh, wait, it is the same blood. It's the same blood stain. It's the same blood stain. Yeah, they got it to her somehow. There we go. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end. Yet. Yeah. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, pun. Why do we fade on that? Why do we fade to black on that? Now that, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now. Now would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. All right. It seems the time has come. Oh, this is going to be the setup for Edgeworth's fall, isn't it? I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID card and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. That's a lot of blood to come from a hand. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Yes, exactly. The jury in the courtroom that's always seated one wide shot. Yeah. Yeah, the murmuring jury. I think that might just be the stands, too. I don't know if we had a jury this entire time. Yeah, that's the audience, Mimey. That's y'all. That's the fuckos. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID card and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. Oh, wait, I gotta press him on these. What am I doing? When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to be to completely end with the transfer that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transfer, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's ID card? I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report. I returned his ID card, left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. So you're okay, that means you were there for a lot of stuff that you got some explaining to do. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could because the rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door, which means Goodman's in on this to some extent. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. Imagine judges and oversight sign lines up for audience applause, thunder. Yeah, no, the judge is totally in charge of that, yeah. Did Edgeworth forget about Yogi from the last case? He wants to move on. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a one in a million type person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. Ah, there we go. Edgeworth gets so much influence. Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry I had to turn out that way. Say that to Meekins. I mean, knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. So you knocked Officer Meekins out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. Oh wait, sorry. Didn't get this in? So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in the struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the dig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is, on that day, they let him keep weapons in the courtroom? Not only a weapon that he just admitted was like evidence in this case. Like he was used. It's directly related. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. The blood found at the scene clearly indicates a crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So, you stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Interesting. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer, this is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. I can't just forget the SL6 incident. You know why? Why? But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dock was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out. But there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. What do you know? Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here has laid some way to that case. I'd better take another look at the files, yeah. Oh, way ahead of you, Mimey. Oh yeah, SL9. It was SL9. I'm DL6 SL9. Perpetrator Joe Dark, crime, serial murder, sentence death. Victims Edward Jones, Eve Kirby. Oh, Neil Marshall. Oh, his brother or father or something was involved. Yeah. Okay. Oh, shit. So I'm assuming I just... Oh, shit. I'm assuming I present that to him, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how that escaped me the first time I read over it, but there we go. You know why? I do. Wait, first, it's gonna be on page 2. It might ask me for page numbers and not page name. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. Your brain saw Neil and auto-completed it with Breen or Ciernega. One of the two. I've been thinking about his version of Fly Away by Lenny Kravitz recently, and that's a really good video. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago. Oh. He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? And yeah, Chipper, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. Oh, that's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gann, the then deputy chief of police. Clearly the cowboy shtick ran through the family. A group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Cheesy looking ass. Fucking marionette looking ass. Joe Doc. My brother fought Doc and was killed. That was the first time Doc left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He does look a little anime Biden, yeah. He looks like he's about to Biden blast. But more importantly, his brother fought him. They duked it out. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Doc. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. Is that what this is? Oh my god, it's Cody Hackins all over again. The Steel Samurai can't lose. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to seal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. Things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, his fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance? It's got to be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. It does not, though. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky. Not really, though. We did a lot to prove that. But wait, the verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial. Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. It has remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me his boy's got the draw on you, partner. All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved. No doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Starr is completely incontestable. We did kind of we proved that she lied multiple times on the stand. You have a response? Make it a single word or less. Objection. Oh. Yeah, we spent hours contesting that testimony. I rest my case. It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the securities camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. It doesn't, though. Separate cases, separate trials, and it comes down to it. Oh, now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. Yeah! I was waiting for her to run back in after conquering her fears. Your Honor, wait! Emma, the defense has an objection, a scientific objection. Right? We haven't seen her in the glasses in a while. The glasses are really cute. What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright? Are you this girl's guardian? I just keep picking up adoptive daughters and Edgeworth refuses to raise them with me. Your Honor? In a sense, please, Your Honor. All I'm asking for is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please? I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. Edgeworth, I need child support, please. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings. Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky Sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day? So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. Please tell me this is actual science. Give me a hypothesis, Emma. Well, that was her hypothesis, I guess. It was an if-then statement. So I ran over there and looked at it again. So did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry. I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student, and I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. We can't find something wrong with them. Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Also, hello, Bob. Welcome, welcome. Me? Oh, boy. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright! I'm sorry I can't be of more use, but still. If you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be... Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If ever I've needed to concentrate, it's now. It has something to do with the Blue Badger, because he's blocking the view to that, right? What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? I mean, yeah, yes, obviously. There has to be, This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. I'm assuming it's the Blue Badger. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans? I'm going for it. That's totally it. That was totally it. Done. What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force, defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Oh, fuck you. Why would you name yourself Praxis as a... Why would you name yourself Praxis as a bot? That's not the Praxis we like to see, goddammit. I'm sorry, I saw that, I had to snipe. Chipper, I should have left that up so you could get your first kill, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, kid. Chipper will get you your first bot kill someday. Fucking Praxis, oh my god. I'm glad that account better be deleted so we free up that name. Yeah, taking good names away from honest chatters, right? Well, what? That's right. So long as a Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. What? That was a big Tumblrbot problem. Some of them had fantastic username. It's fucking unfair. It's so rough. God. So that means, just what exactly does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me. I didn't put it there. It's right. Think it through scientifically. Emma. On that afternoon. Yep. Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger into the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that means this blood mark must become from, was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in. Yeah, no, the glasses pose is real good, Bob. Just 1 minute. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. Look at Judge, using 3-syllable words for once. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time. Hello, Ray. Welcome. That is a good emote. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. Yeah, there's a whole hour-and-a-half span that he could have been murdered during. That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? We know. To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well. Then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. The murder happened at 4:20. Homeboy blazed it too hard. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card. Oh, the ID card record. Oh, but we also put Miles on the spot with this. But that's just how they wanted it. That's just what they wanted. Oh my God. It's all going according to plan of whoever set this up. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Miles Edgeworth! Just what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the active witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope. I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. Yeah, there is another number. There's another number on that sheet, guys. It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have been just 10 minutes to murder. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. Yeah, no, good on you. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Okay, good. It was not that big of a hurdle. We're good. Let's look at the chart again. The one I wanted to point you towards, the mysterious sevens. There's only one other card number remaining, 77777777. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 77777777. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. I mean, we should be able to get find out who that card belongs to, right? Find out who died. Find out whose ID number is 77777777. That's 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least, at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 77777777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. I'd imagine you would for, like, a case, though, right? Yeah, no, I definitely have my thoughts on... Buddy, all eyes are on Damon right now. Hail Satan, Raina. Welcome. How you doing? But that's ridiculous. Just how... I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge? You're all alike, aren't you? with your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Let me ask a question. Yes. No, not to you. To her, the defense sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana? Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 7777777. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. The SL9 incident? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? You need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor. I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Lana? I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant? Just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. Wait! Do we have two stands? Do we have two stands? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look at me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't. I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana, even if it involved forging evidence. Somebody play the Indian soap opera music. See? That's what I'm talking about. No. No! Order, 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 order! Lana's remarks caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. Rabble, 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 rutabaga, rutabaga. Peas and carrots, peas and carrots, peas and carrots. Whoa! Oh my god, what a spot. I think that's where we have to end it, right? I said I didn't want to go crazy late tonight. Hello, hello, Anarch. Welcome on in. You showed up right as we're kind of wrapping up, but yeah, that was a loud audience, yeah. Oh my god. This is good. This is fucking great. This is excellent. This is a really good cliffhanger. Yeah, this trial slaps. I'm really enjoying it. A lot of fun characters to voice, too. I'm glad that I didn't get my throat entirely blown out by voicing Meekins. Man, that was a good time. Thank you all so much for joining me. Next week is going to be pretty much the same schedule as this one, just minus, you know, collab. Minus the Saturday emote collab. But yeah, we're going to be this Wednesday. We're going to be checking out what's it called? This Wednesday we're going to be playing more Corn Kid 64. It might. I looked up the game on how long to beat, and we did spend a little bit of time last stream just kind of like putzing around, not sure where we were going. Like I know a few places I need to go, but I'm not sure exactly how to get there. But basically, we might be halfway through it. I looked it up and it says how long to beat says like roughly 5.5 to 6 hours to beat. There is stream debuff. There me, forgetting things and getting lost and whatnot, and taking time to like do redeems and talk to chat and whatnot. But tomorrow, this Wednesday could be our last Corn Kids stream, which is cool, which is neat. That's fun. I'm really enjoying it. It's a really cool little platformer. Excited to give it some more love. This coming Friday, we're going to be doing more Void Rains Upon Our Heart. Because that game has been good vibes thus far, and I'm enjoying having the Devon chat hanging out. I'm enjoying the new people it's bringing out. I think just generally, I don't know about y'all, I'm really enjoying the vibes of the Void Rains Upon Our Heart whenever I get to play it. It's just always been a really good time. And then we'll be back with more of this on next Sunday at 7 EST, the usual time. Making our way through this case. Figuring things out. We got one fake murder solved. Let's find out about the next, right? Big cliffhanger, and I can't wait to pick it back up. But we should go and give somebody some love. So we're gonna raid into Gar again, who is playing of Stars in Time, or in Stars in Time again. It was a great vibes to raid into last time. I don't know the last time we did it, but fuck it, let's just do it again. Let's pop on in. Let's give them some love. Always a good vibe around there. But thank you all so much again. As a quick reminder, you can follow me on all my bullshit, watch my YouTube videos, consider joining the Discord if you haven't already and want more updates on my shit, and to join a fun, comfy community. But most importantly of all, thank you all so much for joining. As always, hail Satan, abolish ICE, free Palestine, and we'll catch you next time.
I don't know. Satan's pretty cool.